Level Up Protocol, Chili D back here after a long hiatus. I'm back to consistently putting out content, live streaming on weekends. Like and subscribe if you guys like what I'm saying and like my content I'm putting out. So this video is about how I actually relapsed. And I have a video about this saying I relapsed, but thanks to people in the comments who informed me more on the topic, I realized that that was more so just a lapse. It wasn't a relapse, it was an actual lapse. It was just a little slip up. But recently I had an actual relapse. Now what led to this? I will say that I had a weekend where I was out with some friends and I smoked with them and I was high out of my mind. Obviously I hadn't smoked in almost a year. We were laughing, all having a good time. And that made me think maybe I should be casually smoking. Maybe it's okay for me to casually smoke. So the weekend that followed after that, I did some casual smoking and then I actually got really sick. I think it was COVID. I had like a bad cold for 2 weeks and it ended up with me somehow just buying weed, sick as hell, because in Canada we get it delivered right to our front door, and I ended up consistently smoking several times per day. Now this, for me, I want to put a disclaimer out here again. With my channel, I'm not telling anyone not to smoke weed. This is just my own story why I don't think weed is beneficial for people. Now if you're someone who has the self-control to casually smoke once in a blue moon or when you go out or every other weekend or something like that, or weekends or something, then hats off to you. I'm not self-disciplined enough with weed for me to do that. And especially with the tolerance, the way your tolerance is, what you smoke one day isn't really gonna get you the same high the next day, and you need to increase the amounts. And for me, I was back on it. So I did pretty much relapse, but I will say that after being sober for a long period of time and actually relapsing to like a few weeks, it was around 3 weeks I was smoking, I have to say I don't enjoy being high personally. I don't enjoy being high. I overthink things. It gives me a bit of anxiety. My self-discipline goes out the window. For sure, my diet fell to absolute shreds. I put on like 8 pounds of probably bloated water weight, I guess, but I was 211 pounds. And now that I'm back on my diet and weed free again, I'm like back to 200, trying to get down to like 190. I became immediately again less social. Like all these people that I was talking to and dates I was going on to, I didn't have the drive to do that anymore. I was just kind of back in my shell where I was just comfortable and content at home watching TV and playing video games. And a lot of people in my comments on the first vlog I put out, they also mentioned that like, oh, and one thing that I really will say from dabbling back to coming back, because I should point out that I'm weed free again. I'm on like week 3 now, almost at a month. Literally had to reset everything. I did have some withdrawal symptoms again. The sleeping was off for a bit. And when I quit, stomach was a bit fucked up. Couldn't eat properly for a few days. Had the diarrhea going on. But it wasn't as bad, obviously, as smoking for 24 years straight. It only lasted 2 or 3 days. The sleep went back to normal within 4 or 5 days. The dreams came back, and my overall feeling of well-being now, it's back here at week 3. I feel great. I feel fantastic. I feel motivated. I feel self-disciplined. I overall feel fantastic again. So one thing I will point out to you people is that the journey, it's a path. You know, sometimes there's ups and downs, you slip, you fall, but it's really about realigning yourself with the path and getting back on track. Those are the things that makes the journey worthwhile, you know? And when I was like on week 3 of smoking, I was just like, I didn't feel good. I knew what I felt like a month before that, and I was like, no, I'd rather feel like that than feel like this and just be a zombie who's just eating and chilling out and doing fuck all with my life essentially, while still getting my things done, but not being my full maximum potential. And that's another point I want to make. A lot of people always say in my comment section, oh, I own a business, I'm a millionaire, I'm in a successful marriage, this and that, and I smoke. What's the problem? Well, first of all, I never said there was a problem. You were the one who are assuming there's a problem and is getting defensive by watching a video about someone quitting weed, which your defensiveness in itself should show you what type of insecurities are coming out, and potentially it's your subconscious mind telling you you need to quit. But anyways, I will point out that as productive and successful as someone can be who's a stoner, my point that I'm making is if you were to quit, you would be so much more better at what you're doing, successful or happy or healthy or whatever. And that's the only point that I'm trying to make with really all these vlogs, is to be honest. And furthermore, if you've never tried to go sober for a little while, then how do you even know what the difference is? You know what I mean? Like, how do you know, okay, This is the difference. Most people just quit for like a week or two when you're in the peak of your withdrawal symptoms and think that's what sober life is like and go back to smoking. So again, I do suggest that everyone watching this who's a smoker try to go 2 months without smoking weed. 2 months absolutely sober. See how you feel at the end. You may feel fantastic like I did. You may feel that it benefits you. And another thing I want to say is for medicinal purposes, I absolutely suggest to use marijuana. If you're on like Percocets or Oxys or something for pain relief and marijuana gives you equal pain relief, then by all means smoke the weed, because those pills are extremely addictive. They destroy your liver. They destroy your body. They actually destroy your mind too. And obviously, for medicinal purposes, is not really what the topic of I'm talking about when it comes to quitting weed. So yes, I really did have a full out relapse where I went back to actually being a weed smoker. And looking back at it, it just wasn't for me. You know, the main thing that I personally miss about weed is the flavor of smoking it. You know, for me, a nice pink kush, you know, El Chapo pink or Wagyu pink in some papers with a little bit of grabba, which is tobacco we smoke in Canada, on top. They got the red herring smoked grabba. That flavor for me is like the most delicious thing. And if I could smoke that and not get high, I would pay money to smoke that and not get high just for the flavors. But unfortunately, I haven't found it anywhere. The CBD kind of stuff, it definitely doesn't have the flavors that the THC stuff has. I don't know the science behind that. But that was the main thing that kind of led me back. I was craving the flavors. And after I would be high after, I actually would be like in a rush to be sober again. Like while I was high, I'd just be like, damn, I can't wait for this to wear off. But I'm making this video to show you guys that it's a path, it's a process. You know, it's a battle. It's not a one-day thing. It's not just going to be that easy that you quit and you never smoke again. I had one lapse and I had this full-out relapse, but it's about you wanting to be your best self and always getting back to that point that you came from. So I stepped away from that point, but now I'm getting right back to that point. I'm sure you guys could tell by my face and eyes that I look quite sober right now. If I were to make a vlog, I didn't even want to make vlogs, you know? That was part of why I wasn't vlogging, because that was like a 3-week, almost a month period where I was smoking. And vlogging, I was just like, who cares? Who cares what I have to say? And I have to actually thank and send love out to all you guys and YouTube for some reason, because my views were just going straight down. Then out of nowhere, it like re-spiked my first vlog, and all types of comments and subscribers have been coming in recently. And just reading the comments, everyone's like, oh, keep making videos. We love your content. It's really kind of showed me that there's a space for me and what I have to say can help people. And I love helping people because I want everyone to win. I want everyone to be your best self. So that's it for this one, guys. This is just the story of my relapse, how I relapsed, why I relapsed, and how I'm back on it now. So I'm going to go back to dropping more content to help you guys level up. I'll have a few videos now and then about this topic, but also different topics. And by the way, follow me on Twitch, I am Trilla D. Follow me on Instagram, I am Trilla D. Twitter, Kick, everything, it's I am Trilla D. I'm going to start IRL streaming so you guys can kind of see what I'm up to in my daily life and things I do. And that's it for this one, guys. So follow me on all platforms. I am Trilla D. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for caring about my content and bringing me back here. It was all you guys who did that. And I am Trilla D, and this is Level Up Protocol. Be your best self, everyone.